In this video, I'm walking through a few major red flags to look for when building links for your website and the 3 most important factors you need to keep in mind when building links. So first, let's look at a few sites and see what's going on and determine whether or not these would be good sites to likely get a link from. And this is Ahrefs here. And the first thing to look at that I usually look at is DR, or domain rating. And you can see here DR50. Now, again, this is on a 0 to 100 scale. And in most cases, getting a DR50 link sounds like a good link. But there are a few things to look at right away that signal this is probably not a very good site to get a link from. One is there is no organic traffic to this site. And in general, if a website is a strong site to get a link from, it would likely have its own traffic because search engines would view that site as a strong, reputable website to get a link from. Secondly, then, if we look at some of it probably has no keywords it's ranking for currently because it has no traffic. So you can see here, any of the keywords, there's only 3 keywords that it's shown for, and it lost rankings for all of those. Next thing to look at then would be any links that this site is linking to. So to see that, we can look at outgoing anchors, and it looks like there's not much data here as well. So this site is not the best example of a spammed outgoing anchor text profile. But we can also look at the links coming to this site and see if there's anything there that would make sense and potentially look at a decent domain here. But if we look here at sort this by domain traffic to see what links this has that actually have traffic to those sites, we can see here, looks like a lot of subdomain type links, some guest post things here, bunch of spam, which these happen on almost every site, these SEO flocks and ITX, OFT. So those are not massively worrisome there. But this site in general, based on these few data points, DR50 is okay, but no search traffic to the site here and not much link data. And it looks like they have never had traffic to this domain. So this domain is one I would definitely pass on in terms of getting a link from. Next, let's look at celebritysclub.com. So this is DR69. Again, hardly any traffic here. I would very likely not look at this site, but let's check and see what's going on here with anchors to this page or to this site. So a lot of celebrity stuff, which is not surprising. It's a celebrities domain, and definitely nothing here that looks like this is a valuable site to get a link from. Let's check outgoing anchors and see what this is linking to. So this is a case of outgoing anchor spam. So this domain is linking to a lot of casinos or online slot machine sites. So in this case also, this would be one I would definitely not want a link from to my site or client site, because this site is linking to other websites that I don't want to be associated with. And this is another way to look at and find sites that, even if it looks like a potential site to get a link from that would make sense, strong DR here, if it had traffic, that would be step 2 to look at as well. But it does not, so I'd probably skip it from there. But then you look at the outgoing anchors that this site is linking to, and it's very spammed. So I would definitely pass on this one as well. And then third, let's look at reliablecounter.com. DR79, they have no traffic right now, but they're ranking for 400 keywords, referring domains 5,200, 2.3 million backlinks. And if we look at the outgoing anchors from this site here, again, case of massive spam, online casino, online betting, buy Instagram followers, slot game, sports betting. So this is a case where I would, again, not want a link from this on a site that I care about or a client site, because it's very spammed, even though, again, it shows DR79. So this is lots of times when you're looking at links, if you're only looking at DR and you only want strong or high DR links, this is something to definitely keep in mind and look at as you're evaluating whether or not a link would be good. A DR79 link is not necessarily good just because it's DR79. So look at all these other factors as well. A couple other things to look at then as well. Also, if outgoing anchors are not shown here, would be looking at their incoming anchors to see what links are coming to this site. And in some cases here, we would have, if the site was historically legitimate, you would probably have branded anchors for the site itself. In this case, we have Reliable Counter, which makes sense. And then some spam links, which these, again, are on almost every site we're seeing right now. And then Instagram Story Viewer, Instagram Viewer, casino links, live casino games. So these are links coming to this site as well. So again, something to look at here would be links coming to the site other sites or anchors used to link to other websites from this site. Those are all factors that you should look at as you're evaluating whether or not you want a link from a website. And in conclusion, the three biggest and most important factors to look at when you're building links would be looking at and making sure to get complete topical alignment. What I mean by that is when you're building links, ideally, if your website is about metal fabrication, you would have a link from a metal fabrication website to your website. That would be a complete topical alignment there. Next would be page relevance. So if you instead found a website about manufacturing or steel or something, and were able to get a link from a page on that website that is about your topic, like fabrication or metal fabrication, that would be page relevance. And then thirdly would be anchor text relevance. And that would mean if you had a link from a website, or we're looking at a website about manufacturing or business or something, and in that content itself, there was a little bit of text about your brand or your industry or your market, and you were able to get an anchor text link related to what your page is about or your company, that would be the third level of relevance from a link building perspective. But ideally, this is from left to right, the most important and the most valuable style link would be a complete topically aligned link. And again, these types of links, if it has full topical alignment for you, you don't need links that are as high DR to get extreme value from those types of links. Hopefully you got some value from this video. If you did, subscribe to my channel. I'd greatly appreciate that. And that's it. I'll see you on the next one.